So guys, we are buzzing. If you've been checking us out on Twitter, we finished up quite high on, it must have been game week 89. We got a nice little reward as well. So that's a second one we've bagged on top of the Jauzinho. So we've now got a Mark McKenzie, which we were quite happy to get. We also went and got card number 50 into the gallery, which was Weston McKinney. Been on the to-do list for a while. Transfer fairly imminent. Schalke had a pretty poor season and he's been quite public with saying that he wants to take a big transfer this summer. And especially with the exploits of Tyler Adams in the Champions League, Christian Pulisic of course, and then like the kind of hype around like Gio Reyna and these kind of guys. Weston McKinney's definitely in that kind of next generation, kind of American talent that's coming through really, I suppose. And he'll fancy himself going to like a bigger situation in Schalke or whatever that may be. So picking him up now is always good. So there was a rumour came out, Southampton have kind of lined him up to replace Højbjerg. Hope a bigger team comes in from than them, but even going to the Prem is going to be good. But we picked up some Japanese guys as well. When the J League came out, I'd sent like when that announcement came out, I spent a good bit of time going through all the different things I use. There's a playlist on the channel you can check out called Tools of the Trader. I should probably update it with one or two other things, but it's pretty much everything that I can rely on, probably same as you guys. And I came up with a list of about 8 players that I wanted to get. One of them hasn't been up yet. 2 of them IPO'd blue to start with, and they both went for decent money. You can probably work out enough who that is. Both midfielders, I think. And 1 or 2 others that I slept on. I just literally I set alarms and stuff, and I just never pinged up for them, and they went for like 20 quid, 18 quid, 30 quid. They were definitely achievable buys. So I could have bought a good chunk of them that I could have afforded, that I'd ironed out as being good targets to get. But I'm happy with the goalkeeper. He played today. I don't actually know how he scored. I'll check that out. Actually, let's have a. I wonder if I can just click on it. I figured out how to get the mouse on the record as well, so when I'm pointing this stuff. 6.9 he played, 6.8 he played today. Oh, I should have had him in a squad. I put him in training because I thought I don't even know if he's really going to play. If you look at the situation with Sean and Bellemare at the moment, it looks like he's playing and it looks like he's became #1 choice. But because it was the first time I bought him, I thought, I'm going to play safe. I'll stick him in training, and I then could use my Paul Lopez in one of my divisions, which doesn't sound like a smart decision. I'm sure you'd agree, for actually trying to win the thing. But my kind of idea was that is I get an extra squad into training then, because I can use this guy. He can get trained. He can get the points he's going to get anyway, and I can get another lineup out, so I can get more players trying to rank up quicker. So I took a wee bit of a hit on that. As it transpires, he could have been on the bench. I had the same experience with Van de Voort, so I bought him in pre-season. He'd only played 2 games and he played them both, and he'd been playing last year. He played in the group stages of the Champions League against Napoli, and I thought, brilliant, man, I could get this guy. And he's not played yet this season. Vukovic just came back and he's like 35 or something, so he's an experienced goalkeeper in the squad. And so it was, anyway, I'd been burned in this, so I thought I'll play safe this week. I'll make sure he plays again in case it was. And I looked at it, it was obviously not somebody, it didn't seem to be anyway an injury or a suspension by all accounts I could find out, and it seems to be everything seems to be correct now, so I'm quite happy with that. Otherwise, we João Mario, he's not in Russia anymore if you're not aware. We've got an Akinfeev, we've got a Turbans, so I think you've seen some of this stuff. So we're going to do today what I've really planned on doing in the video, a wee bit of a rant, sorry, but it's actually putting together my lineups for game week 92. So I'm just going to hit this compose your team button, right? So game week 92, I actually have the ability to issue a lot of squads out into tournaments that could be competitive, so I was messing about on my phone, and I thought rather than doing this on my phone, this is going to be great for a video. You can see what I'm kind of doing, I suppose, and it's more a sense of just, if you're starting out, is giving you the opportunity to kind of see, like, okay, if I get to, I've maybe got 8 cards now, or obviously you get your free ones, but them aside, or you're just starting out and you're thinking, right, what I'm trying to build squads, what kind of combinations am I looking for? And also there's going to be a massive change to the matrix, happening, so things might change a little bit in terms of the exact type of player you're trying to target. There's a lot of good early indications on how it's going to look, but until it's live in practice, it's the same as anything. When you're involved in something, when it happens, rather than it's just on paper, this is how it will be, you get a different feel for it, and you start to see, oh right, that's how this guy now scores, and this guy, wow, he's doing, whatever. So time will tell on that front. But in any case, so I've got a fair amount of goalkeepers playing, which is the real key component, or potentially playing is probably the best way of putting it. Now I'm looking at some of these let's just say regional divisions, you know, Americas, Europe, and all that kind of thing. I've definitely not got a squad capable of going into the Asian one. The European one probably, and the American one definitely. I've got enough MLS players I could probably do that well enough. So we might even have a wee shot at that. I've got under 23s. I've got a lot of choices this week for attacking, attacking some of these. So I'm gonna have a look at this one, the D3 right now. The thing with each of these is what you need to think about. Also, the power cap is up there, but what you need to think about as well is the potential for, X amount, how many people will have blues in these regional ones. Fair enough, like the Korean League's been out for long enough, so there'll be a fair amount of, in the Asian Championship. But for, like, it says the Americas, we've only really got the MLS involved in this. So I'm trying to see, but my wee screen's in the way, sorry. But but you need to get top 10 really to get anything from this. But you get super rares, and I can't see because of my bloody wee camera thing. It looks like a tier 1 rare is what it looks like. It says, oh yeah, like tier 1 rare. So that's good. And if you finish top 3, you get a super rare. That is appealing, right? So we can get Sisniga in now. Sisniga might not play. He's been kind of rotational at LAFC, but he might play. He might play. So we'll give him a shot. And we've got Eddie Segura, big fan of him, playing in the same match in the same team. So if they both line up together, I'll be really happy with that. We then look at the midfield. Now in this midfield, like, I bought Gideon Zellem thinking, I hope that he's going to start playing. He's not really been anywhere near the squad, so that's a little bit rubbish. Alan Cruz is a little bit of a left field one. I'm actually going into this in way too much detail. I'm not actually here to explain everything all in. I'm going to go for Jesus Medina because he's phenomenal, and against the Crew I fancy him to do pretty well. And then up front it's going to be both of these guys, Pity Gonzalez, Atalanta at home in Nashville. That's a game you'd expect them to do well in. And then Johnny Russell away at Minnesota. Minnesota did well in the MLS Cup, but it's the best I've ever seen them do. So I would always back Johnny Russell to play well, at least maybe even get a goal. Martinez, who are they playing again? Nashville. Nashville are quite new on the scene, and I don't think they're actually that terrible. And we've got, so you can see the scores we've got trapping in. Medina's definitely the star man potential, hasn't he? Because he's just so dynamic in midfield, and hopefully that. Anyways, I'm going to this way too much detail. Apologies, guys. But yeah, so let's go with Johnny Russell. Let's go with Johnny Russell. We'll pop that in, and we'll see how far we get. Cool. Next one we're going to do is D3 Global All-Star. Okay, so we'll just get the full choice of anything we want here. Now, like I was saying, goalkeepers are a good choice. And now it's really hard to not want to put Akinfeev in this lineup, just because he's the oldest of the goalkeepers really that are available here. And he's definitely going to play. CSKA Moscow at home. He's just done a bad game for us this week as I record the video, but I think he's definitely capable of going in there and doing us a job. Now, Gabriel, the Leo Ren match, I don't see Gabriel playing in it, the way things are going. I'm going to go with my boy who's not featured yet this season, but I'm going to go with Zinho van Hoesten, because I think he could do pretty well if he finally gets on the bloody pitch. In terms of midfield, now this is the kind of choice I got stuck at earlier. João Mario we're not even going to consider, of course, but between Jairzinho and Mats Daly, like, that's a tough game. Standard Liège and Genk. Jairzinho did well in a game that's not actually covered by the tournament, got a wee cheeky assist, so his form seems to be doing him pretty well. The team they're playing against, it's tough. I'm probably going to go for Jairzinho, but because I think no, I'm going to go for that. It's so tough. I was really torn because Mats Daly I think could easily score pretty high. Let's say I just hit him on and we'll see. I'll come back to it. In terms of up front now, a Jetty could be playing. He could be playing, no problem at all. So Jordan Larson didn't do too well this game week. He missed a penalty. He got an assist, but if he scored that penalty, what form he'd be in now? He's still in good form, of course. Derby against Lokomotiv Moscow. I expect him to play. Expect him to do well. Crepin Diatta did so fantastically last week. It's hard to look beyond him again, really, because the team Bruges are playing this week. You'd expect him to turn them over quite easily. And his multiplier is higher. I'm probably going to go for the. Diatta in my strongest lineup, and then for the extra player, I'm thinking the Jetty, to be honest with you, because I could see him coming off the bench against Dundee United and doing something. Otherwise, there's not too much else here that gets me super excited. I want to keep some of these guys available for other things as well. It's a tough one. I'm going to put Matt Stanley in because he is over 23, so I'm not going to get him in a better lineup than this, really. In terms of captain material, see, he says he's got a 0 here for that game because it wasn't covered, which is a pain in the arse. But I know he done well. Got a 7.7 or something like that. I got an assist. Obviously, Crepin did amazing in the last match. They basically made us the Weston McKennie. They basically done it by himself. And do you know, Matt's could. He's got a big score coming. Van Hoosten could get a big. But these guys being in opposition to each other, I might actually change that because Van Hoosten I can put in an unders lineup, and now with Gabriel and Sardella, I don't expect either of them to be guaranteed to play. And then my boy Machida at home. It's a tough one. I'm probably going to stick with Van Hoosten in this lineup and keep Daly here as well. That's a tough one. See, then I look at Danny Wilson because Rapid at home RS to Real Salt Lake. You know, you could do that. Could be a wee left fielder. You know, you could do sneakily well. No, I'm going to keep Van Hoosten, and I'm going to go captain. I feel like it's stupid not to do captain Diatta, but I think that's too obvious. I think too many people do that again this week, and then I'm getting similar scores as others, especially if you're watching this video. I'm going to go with Diatta. I think that's just too good an option. Now we're going D4 and under 23s. I'm going to put in my boy Alban Lafont. Just can't wait to see him in action, basically. And in front of him, it's going to be Sardella because I think he could be brought back into the team. We then get Vlasic, he can go in midfield, lovely. We've then got Larson up front, that's lovely as well. And in terms of the spare, it's going to be a Jetty. It's brilliant that he gets into this under 23 setup. In terms of captain, do you know, I actually like the thought of maybe trying the goalkeeper on this one. Away at Bordeaux could be a bit risky, but I'm probably going to go Derby. Larson at home. I'm probably going to go with Jordan. See, he's missed that penalty, so will he be off them now? Will they stick with him? It's hard to say. Or do you know what? For the shits and the gigs, let's put captain a Jetty, because if he comes off the bench and does well, double his score. It's as if he started. That could work. Let's do that. And then we're going Global All-Star D4. So again, we can put anyone we want into this. It looks like I want to be, because the thing with Van de Voort is he's not guaranteed to play, especially in that game, is definitely not likely. Whereas our boy Kosaitani scored well, as we've just seen. He is playing, and let's get him involved. In terms of the defence, it's then going to probably be Machida as Danny Wilson. I think Danny Wilson could be sneaky, by the way. I know his last score there, he gets sent off. Actually, what I need to do is check if he's still suspended. He has missed one game through suspension. He's not shown on the next game as being unavailable. So I'm actually going to go with Danny Wilson, because I think he could put a good score in for us. Midfield, I'm going to go Alan Cruz, Cincinnati. It's just if he plays or not. That's the only risk with Cruz. We've only got a basic striker. I'm going to go... I know you can ship a lot of goals, so I'm going to go with Mboyo. And then our spare player, do we go Ritz? Or do we go Machida even? Do we bring Machida into it? We could just put two defenders in this. I know it's not a great lineup, but if it gets us a place, that would be brilliant. So do we go... Sam Nicholson, don't actually think it's Rapid anymore. I think he's been released. Machida, if he gets a decent enough score, the multiplier could work out pretty well. I just don't see Gabriel playing in that Rennes game. That's what's holding me back. Gabriel going into any of these lineups makes him a bit better, but that's a wee bit up in the air at the moment. I'm going to go with Machida. No. Yeah, I'm going to go Machida. Sorted. So we get some good lineups out there as well. Captain. Jesus, this team's not even got a good captain in it. Cruz isn't definite to start. Who else is our options for our extra player? Nobody can make captain anyway, it's just whites, isn't it? I'm going to go... Who's got the best potential? I'm going to go... Do you know what? Just for the banter, I'm going to do Captain Danny Wilson. Nah, screw that. Sack it. Let's do it. Let's say he scores a goal from a corner. Why not? screw it. What have we got to lose? Excellent. So I think that's pretty much all we can do competitive wise. Game week we're on the now, guys. We're about not halfway through, but kinda. So we've got an all-star team now, which we've still got the Medina, the Bruno Guimaraes, and the Mark McKenzie to play, and we've got an okay amount of points. That can Thieves kind of hampering that, but this is you know, if the pie does something really good, then that could be amazing for that little one. So that's all we've got going on this week. We didn't have too much on because of the way fixtures dropped and whatnot. But Game Week 92 I'm looking forward to massively. And that's one thing you'll realise, or you'll adjust to on SoRare, is that because the game weeks at the moment certainly are smaller, shorter periods of time, you'll find ones where you're more active and less active. And I've been slowly building the gallery up, and I think I'm finally at the stage now where as fixtures are returning, I'm starting to feel the power of the things I've bought now. You know, I've not just been collecting and gathering, I'm now starting to actually get to utilise a lot of them, you know. Still a lot of the guys in Europe, you know, the top 5 kind of leagues, kind of guys that still aren't back. Champions League knockouts are obviously reduced fixtures for some teams as well. So I'm looking forward to when everything's back, you know. I've finally got to that stage where I can put a bunch of lineups out and feeling that I've got a good few little chances. Some of those lineups I've put out will hopefully run really close, and if I can get, like, I seen Grant Football Index Ivy, Football Index Scotland, bagged like free rewards this week, and that's exactly the level you want to get this to. This is like your dividend, you know. That's your dividend basically, is the cards you're capturing to then, you know, grow and grow and grow and trade and trade and trade, and that's the lifeblood that you're kind of chasing down. So if you've got to this stage, leave a comment below in the video. Let me know if you're excited for Game Week 92, 93, what it is. You know, if you've looked at the fixtures, you see where your teams are playing and whatever. If you want anything in the last couple of weeks, let me know down below. If you are new and you haven't joined SoRare, there's links all below. You'll find it all. Go get all the free stuff you can get your hands on. If you are new around here, please make sure you do like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.